Hello and welcome to Across Louisiana. My name is Steve Sawyer, your host for the show, and we're so happy to have you be a part of the show today. We have four really outstanding guests. First in the studio is Carlo Carino. Carlo is the First Tee's outstanding participant, and he won a national award, and he represents New Orleans. Over 500 people participated in this, and he was our winner representing New Orleans. Langley is the Program Director for the Vietnamese Initiative in Economic Training. And then Dr. J Rao, an incredible man who I couldn't even begin to pronounce this man's title. But April is Parkinson's Awareness Month, and he's going to be talking about that. And finally, Carolina Hernandez. She is the Executive Director for Puentes New Orleans, a Latino-based organization that focuses on the needs of the Latino community. And she's going to be talking about a big event they have coming up. Steve Sawyer, again, thank you so much for being a part of the show. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Across Louisiana. Just a great show we've got lined up today, and I love always featuring our young people on the show, and we've just got another great representative. Carlo Carino is the First Tee's outstanding participant, and I just got to preface this by saying that this gentleman, over 500 people applied for this in the nation, and Carlo, right here from New Orleans, was the winner. Congratulations on that. That is outstanding, outstanding work. How did you know to get into this?
Well, through guys like Chip and Perry, the great leaders of our First Tee chapter, they got me to sign up for these certain applications through the website, this and that. And eventually, I came across this Outstanding Participant Award. And I know I do like a good amount of community service around New Orleans. I volunteer at Good Shepherd School downtown, and I volunteer at various like marathons, like the Rock and Roll Marathon every year. And I thought I would have a good chance maybe of winning this award, so I decided to write a couple essays, apply, and hopefully I made it in. And when we got the email that we made it into this camp, there had names highlighted, and my name was one of the names that were highlighted as a finalist. I was like, whoa, this is crazy. I didn't think I was gonna become a finalist. I had a great recommendation letter from my my guidance counselor at Jesuit, and she just said everything good about me, and it was a great letter, and I guess that's what attracted the people over there.
And you know, Carlo, the important thing about this is, I mean, First Tee is a golf organization. I mean, most people know as that, but this really, and I'm not trying to demean the First Tee organization, which you're a part of, but this really wasn't about golf scores or anything like that. This had a lot more to do. This is, you know, community work and things like that. So you really, I just want our audience to know you didn't win this award because you won a golf tournament. I mean, you won this award because of who you are, your character, and I think that's what's so outstanding. So how long have you been involved in First Tee?
I've been involved with the First Tee since I was about 7 years old, and I'm 16 now.
Now, is there an age limit for First Tee? It's
usually, as I knew before, I thought it ended after high school, but as guys like Perry Faulkner told me that there's some extended programs for after that I didn't know about until
well, I'm 58 and they won't let me in, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. But listen, this is awesome, and I know the First Tee website is firstteenola.org. We're going to put that on the screen, because I know you're involved in your spring session right now. The summer session starts
May 6th.
May the 6th. Now you've come up through these sessions, right?
Yes, sir.
And I mean, for those that aren't really involved in those sessions right now, what do you get out of these sessions?
Well, aside from learning golf and like how to work with your swing, this and that, for more advanced players, we actually teach life skill values that kids can apply to their real lives and on the golf course.
Now, will you be teaching in the sessions coming up? Or
I'll be volunteer coaching with Chip and other coaches from our chapter.
Yeah, we've had Chip on the show from time to time, and Chip, he's just doing an incredible job with First Tee organization. And I just can't thank him enough for his commitment to our young children. Again, Carlo, congratulations. I mean, just to win a national award and represent New Orleans and the great state of Louisiana, I think that's outstanding. So please continue to come back from time to time. Let us know how things are going.
Thanks for letting me on your show.
And I know you're too handicapped, so that always impresses me hearing things like that. Stay with us. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Across Louisiana. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. Just very proud to have a lady in the studio right now, Miss Langley. Lang is the Program Director for the Vietnamese Initiative and Economic Training for New Orleans. And Lang, thank you so much for taking time to be here. And you've got a big event coming up. It's your first year to do the 40-year?
Yes, 40-year journey, the Rise of American Conference.
And we were talking before the segment, and I was really just fascinated by your journey. And I just wonder if you could just real quick talk about, when you came to the United States and kind of what that was like. You are a citizen now, so congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And then we'll talk a little bit about the event that's coming up.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me and allowed me to share this wonderful experience. As we were talking before, I came to the United States with my family during the fall of Saigon, which April the 30th.
And you were how old?
I was 7.
7?
I was 7, yes.
Do you remember a lot about it?
Not a lot, but then with celebrating the event and interviewing a lot of people, they talked about the couple of last days before April the 30th kind of brings my memory back to where my family was at the time. Because during that time, from my understanding, that the American ships were actually based out of Vũng Tàu. And then from there, at different areas, that's where you're going to have to travel to be able to get to the big ship to get out of Vietnam.
Wow.
So,
and you grew up with the war and everything all around you. And
yes, and as a young child at 7 years old, I don't remember much, but then just hearing the stories that people were telling during our interviews, and then just from what my parents talked about the events, April of 1930, April 30th of 1975, just to see what they have gone through and trying to get away. Now, when we left during that time, it was not as difficult and challenging as the people left after 75, between 75 up to the 80s. They have to go through more like fleeing on boats. The word boat people actually, symbolize that, because a lot of them went through that, and that's more even horrific than what we went through.
So, I mean, with that, so the 40-year celebration is April the 30th. Talk about what's going to be taking place with that.
Yes, with the April the 30th, what we're wanted to do is host a conference, and within the conference, we're going to have representatives to be able to talk about their experience. The first panel discussion will talk about the histories of the Vietnamese refugees, and then the second will be talked about the survivors of the boat people and the prisoners of war after that. And then we have a keynote speaker, which is Dr. Andrew Weiss. He is from the University of Southern Mississippi. He will talk about his experiences. He wrote a couple of books, and he's a professor of the history.
Well, let me ask you before we run out of time, is there a fee for coming to the conference?
No, actually the conference is free.
Free?
Yes,
Okay.
we were able to secure sponsorship just like Cox and many other organizations and businesses that help to
Well, and I know, again, before we run out of time, your website is vietno.org. All the information on the conference can be found on that website regarding the conference and everything that's coming up with the conference and so forth.
Yes, we will put the information on there, and space is limited, so what we'll do is we'll send the information out, and if people are interested, we'll
Lang, they're giving me the wrap-up cue. I could sit here and talk to you all day. I want to thank you so much for being a part of the show. Congratulations on the event that's coming up. It's your first year, so I wish you the very best of success.
Yes, thank you.
And we'd love to have you come back and talk more about the organization and things that you guys are doing. Stay with us. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Across Louisiana. Just an outstanding show today, and I'm so glad you're able to take a part of this. Our next guest is just someone who, fascinating, doesn't even describe this gentleman. Dr. J Rao is the Professor Emeritus of Neurology, Neurosciences, and he said stop right there, because the list goes on and on and on. thank you so much for taking time to be on the show. Really do appreciate it. And I didn't realize this, but April is actually Parkinson's Awareness Month.
Yes.
That's it's
all over the country.
all over the country. And I mean, has April always been that? So let me, if you can, let me start by asking, because I know this is something Parkinson's. I mean, a lot of people aren't aware. What exactly is Parkinson's disease?
Parkinson's disease is the second common brain degenerative disease. It starts when you're about 60, let's say, and then continues progression. It progresses slowly, but definitely. We have no way of stopping it.
There's no way of stopping it once it starts.
Sorry, unfortunately, no.
Can you? Are there things that you can do to control it, or? I mean,
Yeah, we have remarkable medications that have improved the quality of life in the last 50 years. When I first saw my Parkinson patient was in 1965. They died within 10 years.
Really?
You know, your colleague here has had it for 6 years and you don't even know she's got Parkinson sometimes, okay?
Yeah.
So we have done remarkably. In my generation, we can take credit for improving the quality of life. We still have so many issues that we need to deal with, but nobody dies from this disease anymore.
Yeah.
You die with the disease.
Right.
Anytime you have a disease that lasts for 30 years, it's going to get you somehow or other.
That's a very strong statement.
Right,
That's a very strong statement. You die with the disease, because there's so many things out there that you die from. And I mean, again, it's such a powerful statement. And I mean, a lot of Michael J. Fox, the actor, I mean, I think he's the one that really, I hate to use the words, brought this to the attention, but I mean, he clearly, I mean, came out with the disease, and I've got this, and you see more and more people are doing that these days.
Yeah, Muhammad Ali was the first well-known, and Pope Paul was the next to known. And Michael J. Fox has taken it at a different level, research level, political level, and really aggressive methods to encourage research. He really wants a cure.
So what do you, as a doctor who has been seeing this disease for a long time, from a different stages, what's the future with this disease?
We have a wonderful future. The molecular biological techniques have opened up our area of research in such a way we can go directly interfere with abnormal molecules or promote the activity of normal molecules. We can kick in the molecules that keep the cells alive.
Right, and that's what it's all about.
That's what we need to know is some more research, some more understanding of what happens within a cell, within the nucleus, within what does DNA and RNA do. So this is going to be remarkable. We already have so many initiatives where we inject stem cells, viral vectors, and all of those to control this disease.
That's incredible. And I know we got to wrap this up, but is Parkinson's, is it hereditary?
No, it is not. Only about 2 to 3% of the patients have some gene defect that can cause inherited disorders. On an average, we don't know why we get it. It's called idiopathic. That means we're all idiots. We don't know what's going on.
Well, compared to you, I definitely am. So, Dr. Rao, thank you so much for being on the show. They're wrapping me up. April is Parkinson's Awareness Month. Thank you for all the work that you've dedicated yourself to doing that. Greatly appreciate that. And we have one more guest coming up, and we'll be right back. And welcome back to Across Louisiana. Again, just an outstanding show today, and we're so glad you were able to be a part of that. Our final guest is Carolina Hernandez. She is the Executive Director for Puentes New Orleans. Thank you so much for taking time to be on the show. I just, in reading a lot of the information about Puentes, what a wonderful organization. So with that, I would just ask you, before we get into some events you've got coming up, tell us a little bit about the mission of the organization and some successes that you've had.
Wonderful. Thank you for having me here. Puentes New Orleans is a community development nonprofit that was started in 2007 in a response to the aftermath of Katrina to help work with and serve the Latino community. As you, I'm sure, are aware, and most New Orleanians are, the Latino community in New Orleans has just boomed after Katrina. I was born and raised here, raised in Kenner, And we've always had a vibrant Latino community, but
especially Kenner.
Yes, especially Kenner. Kenner actually has the highest concentration of Latinos in the state of Louisiana.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yes, almost 25% of the population in Kenner is Latino. And so our community has a lot of needs, and the needs are very specific to our cultural sort of references of how we manage money, how we deal with family issues. And so who better than to serve our community than Latinos ourselves. And so through Puentes, we provide access to different resources throughout the city that many Latinos don't know anything about. We have a small business development program where we help Latino business owners become owners of a business or to grow a business. And we both help the documented and the undocumented Latino become business owners. We have a housing program that helps the documented and the undocumented become homeowners. We do first-time homeowner classes, and then in this arm of economic development, we also do several workshops and trainings throughout the area, even in Baton Rouge, where we provide basic information to the Latino community of how to manage a bank account, how to navigate U.S. systems, right?
And I wanted to ask you real quick before we run out of time, and I want to get to the events, puentesno.org, and we'll put that on the screen as your website. And all the information about the organization can be found on the website,
Absolutely.
services and things like that. So let's do this. Women's Day Expo is coming up on April the 19th.
Yes.
Talk about that.
It's el Día de la Mujer Latina, which means the day of the Latino woman.
And don't ask me to repeat that.
Yes, I won't. The reason we did El Día de la Mujer Latina is because last year we had 3 health fairs. And in those 3 health fairs, we served about 1,700 people.
Wow.
And out of the 1,700, in every single event, over 65% of the people who attended the health fair were Latino women.
That's incredible.
So we decided, okay, Latino women are coming out to our events. They obviously have a need, and they will support. So we decided to dedicate a day to them. The theme is health, wellness, and empowerment. So
and that can be found on the website, information about that event.
And our Facebook account, because we have a Facebook page, and we're always promoting our events there. And so that day is going to be at Delgado Community College, the City Park campus, at their gymnasium. We're going to have 2 panels where successful Latinas are going to be talking about how they achieved their success, the challenges that they faced. And we're also going to have Dress for Success is going to do 2 fashion shows during the event.
That is awesome.
So women who attend and their family members, they'll get free gifts, they'll get access to free health clinic sort of resources and services.
How could you say no to that?
Yeah, and then additionally, we're going to be closing it out with Casa Samba is going to be performing at the end of the event.
Well, they're wrapping me up, but let me do that. We also got Give NOLA Day on
which is Cinco de Mayo Day.
That's May the 5th.
And we're going to be at Felipe's on Carrollton. Felipe's chose us plus 2 other nonprofits to highlight our work during Give NOLA Day. That's all day on Cinco de Mayo at Felipe's.
Well,
we invite people to come out and donate to our cause.
And you've also got a Youth Summit coming up on July 18th, and I'm going to ask you to please come back on the show as they're wrapping me up to talk about that. Thank you so much for being here. Congratulations on what you guys are doing for the Latino community. That is absolutely incredible. You've been watching Across Louisiana. My name is Steve Sawyer, and we'll see you next time.